want to talk about something that has actually been bothering me lately, like specifically about trans military bans. And not necessarily because I'm in favor of a trans military ban, because people are declaring that fighting for trans people being in the military is a fight worth fighting for. I just can't stand by that. I have hinted at it previously that I don't stand for trans people being in the military, but I wanted to make a video specifically dedicated to the topic. As of recording this, there has been numerous attempts by the Donald Trump administration to ban trans people from the US military, from being able to enlist in the US military, and to be openly trans in the US military. And of course, as a result of that, the Supreme Court has ruled it illegal for Donald Trump to ban trans people from the military. Now, I want to make it clear that this specific fight for trans people being in the military is not just on its own an isolated case that trans people should be in the military. It's really more of a fight about equal rights, right? If cisgender people can do a thing under the eyes of the law, then trans people should also be allowed to do a thing in the eyes of the law. That's the principle here, and I'm not trying to denote that here. But trans people being in the military is not the win that you think that it is. It genuinely is not. And I'm sorry that I have to be the one to rip the band-aid off. First of all, if you're like transgender and you consider yourself like a patriot for the United States of America,
news flash.
I'm sorry, but the United States of America does not have your fucking back. The transphobia that you are seeing within the Donald Trump administration is not just isolated to Donald Trump himself. Another specific Epstein president, being Bill Clinton, also had its own don't ask, don't tell anti-gay bill.
It is the best way to proceed because it provides a sensible balance between the rights of the individual and the needs of our military to remain the world's #1 fighting force.
This is just an extension of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. This is just a new version of Don't Ask, Don't Tell that specifically targets trans people. Democrats don't have your back either. Of course, the Republicans don't. The Republicans want to murder trans people. But given that Democrats, especially recently, where 8 Democratic congressmen voted alongside with the GOP to out trans kids to their parents. Let's provide some numbers for the sake of perspective. According to the National Network for Youth, research shows that LGBTQ+ youth are over 120% more likely to experience homelessness than their non-LGBTQ+ peers. They make up as much as 40% of all youth experiencing homelessness, despite representing only 9.5% of the overall population. If you are transgender and you consider yourself a US patriot, even from a progressive stance, I encourage you to reflect on your nationalism. Because at the end of the day, this is what you fought for. You fought for the endangerment of trans kids. Maybe that wasn't your intention when joining the US military, but that is the end result. You fought for a government that wants to kill trans people. You are not protecting our freedom. You are serving the ruling class. You are serving your congressmen. You are serving the billionaires. You are serving any of the weapons manufacturers and oils manufacturers and any of those specific industries that specifically have a monetary interest in any war that you fight. God, it's so hot. I'm sorry, it's June, guys. Take it easy. Don't troll me. The other thing, too, is that right now, the United States military is trying to merge itself with Israel. Israel right now is doing a genocide. It is slaughtering innocent Palestinian lives. Anything that Israel is doing, its own existence is illegal by international fucking law. And then on top of that, like, even if it wasn't illegal, it is immoral. It is a genocide. It is something that is happening right now for the sake of extermination, for the sake of land conquest, for the sake of imperialist expansion. And Marsha P. Johnson, I swear to God, did not fucking throw that brick all those fucking decades ago so that our queer asses can go fucking serve in the US military and participate in a fucking genocide. And before anybody says in the comments section that Marsha P. Johnson was enlisted into the U.S. Navy, that is true. She was enlisted at the age of 17 when she was a minor. She was also kicked out of the military when a man attempted to sexually assault her. What does that say about the military-industrial complex, which is historically and even presently not sure how it wants to intake LGBTQ plus people into its ranks? Chelsea Manning, who blew the whistle on a U.S. airstrike in Baghdad in 2007 while she was serving the military, was in prison from 2010 to 2017. She nearly faced the death penalty, and she also faced gender discrimination in prison. Why are you fighting to be a part of an entire industrial complex that treats transgender people like less than dirt itself, but also is enthusiastic about participating and actively participating in genocide? It makes zero sense, and it is morally reprehensible. And even if the United States military wasn't merging with the IDF like the Donald Trump administration is trying to do, you shouldn't fucking do it anyway, right? If you're trying to get like your military benefits, you're trying to get the health care, you're trying to get education, etc. Those are fights that you should be fighting for individually. You should be fighting for education for all, Medicare for all. It shouldn't be like this weird thing where you go and kill brown people for like a number of fucking years and then you join this program that could be revoked from you at any fucking time, and like you get all the benefits of HRT and things like that. When clearly, you know, those veterans fucking associations don't respect you as trans people either. You should be fighting for education for all. You should be fighting for health care for all. You should be fighting for housing for all. You should be fighting for everything that you have been trying to get through the Veteran Association. You should be fighting for that regularly. That should be a thing you should be fighting for everybody, okay? Not just so that you can have it when you finish killing Iranian children in another school. Don't do Donald Trump more favors. Like, why are you doing deals with the fucking devil? Just don't, okay? Just don't join the military. Trans people, we deserve basic human rights. And honestly, fighting for the military and our right to be in the military, that is not a victory worth fighting for. It is just not. This liberal bullshit where we have to fucking like be a part of US imperialism, it is so fucking pathetic, and I'm tired of it. I am sweating. I am exhausted. I need to go cool down.
My brain and my body don't seem to be able to relax. So it's almost like relaxing or feeling less tense is itself anxiety inducing, because I don't know if I'm going to let my guard down. You know, my relationship with my father, that was one of the drivers that drove me into the military in the first place. You know, was trying to fit within the mold of what he expected out of me, but it was never enough.
The thing that you shared in such a candid account is sexual assault that you say occurred while you were in the military.
Yeah, that was hard too, because I haven't shared that before. My sense of safety, you know, in that time frame was altered.
And you say you never reported it.
I didn't report it. I had mentioned it to a friend once in passing that this had happened, and they just sort of seemed, you know, like that's just what happens whenever you're dealing in the military, right? Because Don't Ask, Don't Tell was still in effect.